Hey guys, welcome to the studio. Thank you for joining me. Today we're going to be painting this rustic farm shed from just down the road in Ruakaka, New Zealand. It's a scene that I pass quite often on my way to the beach, and it's a real favourite of mine. So very happy to be painting it for you and showing you exactly how to go through all the techniques and tips that will get you to this sort of painterly effect. So this is a recording of a live YouTube session. And what's neat about that is that people get to ask me questions that I don't normally think to tell you about when I'm giving you a workshop. So you get a lot more information than you normally would, because people really dig down into what I'm doing and the techniques and tips for other sorts of things as well. So I take you through step by step. It's about 2 hours in total, and we go from design through drawing, tips about color mixing, color choices, and talk extensively about light and form and color and how those three things combine to produce what you're seeing, and how you can use that information to make an interesting painting. We also cover things like texture and brush strokes, edge control, all these finer points of painting that sometimes you miss out on when you're just beginning to paint. So it's a class that's really packed full of information, and I hope you'll find something useful in it. So here's a few clips from the class to show you what it's like. Enjoy. Previous paintings which are similar, this is just down the road as well. So in my opinion, the more ramshackle the better. You can see how the roof on this one is caving in, and the neat thing about this spot here is that each time we went back to it, I'd go back once or twice a year, it'd be a little bit more collapsed. And so this one was, I don't know, maybe 10 years ago. So here's one with a big lead in and a soft shadow across the foreground, which is something I'm thinking of doing in this one today as well. If you look at the big idea of this, it's a dark background and a very light foreground, and the foreground gets lighter and lighter, and that's just an effect I made to help lead the eye, to push the eye down the road to all of that interesting stuff. So you'll notice that I'm leaving gaps for my lighter stuff, whereas over here it doesn't matter so much. I'm going to paint over the top of that, but where I want really light stuff, like this is the lightest light in the whole painting, I'm being sure not to put dark stuff there, because I'll get my lightest lights by putting light paint on light canvas like that. If I were to put it over dark stuff like that, it would really get muddied. So how you get mud, if you really want to make mud, you mix either a cool color with a warm color, or a light color with a dark color. And if you do both of those things at once, mix say a cool light with a warm dark, instant mud. Or a grey. And if you actually do want grey or brown, that's how you do it. So if you can see that, I've got a long tub here where I keep my brushes in, and I've got a little piece of wood that lies down, and so the handles are on that, so they're just sort of laying like that in this big tub of safflower oil, and that's how I keep them. So after the painting, I just give them a little clean like that and throw them into the safflower oil, and that way I don't need to wash them, and the bristles don't dry out, so it's good for the brushes, and it saves all that cleaning. Anything that looks weird in there, often when you're painting a painting, you can't really see it, right, after a while, because it looks normal to you because you've been looking at it for so long. So you've probably heard this before, it's a really good idea to look at it in a mirror, or what I do is actually just flip over the image in the camera, and you can see it reversed, and suddenly you see it as a whole new painting, and you can see, oh my gosh, that guy's arm is way too long, or the angle of that is wrong, or something like that. It's often drawing problems, and often compositional problems as well. Especially if you're right-handed, you'll tend to make all your strokes slope to the right, and the whole painting might have this slightly slope to the right feeling. And if you're left-handed, it'll slope to the left. So, and you can't see those things until you flip it over, or if you leave it for a couple of weeks and come back to it. Ta-da! Please hold the applause. Very odd not being able to hear you. Away! I appreciate you guys organising it and getting everybody together. It's really great, isn't it, that, you know, with technology we can get together even if we are in lockdown and do this sort of thing. I'll see you in the next one.
Yeah.
See ya.